tiny French startup just became a 20 billion euro company, and Silicon Valley wasn't expecting it. Mistral, founded just 2 years ago by 3 former Meta and Google researchers, just closed a 3 billion euro funding round. To put that in perspective, that's roughly the entire GDP of Iceland happening in a single funding announcement. Here's what makes this shocking. Mistral doesn't have anywhere near the user base of ChatGPT. They don't have the venture-backing history of Anthropic. What they have is something scarier to the American AI establishment. They've built models that consistently outperform much larger competitors, and they are completely open source. They're not trying to compete by being bigger or having more users. They're winning by being smarter, more efficient, and aligned with what developers actually want. And now, with 3 billion euros in fresh capital, they're about to come for OpenAI's lunch in ways that nobody in Silicon Valley saw coming. This isn't just a funding announcement. It's a declaration that the age of American AI monopoly is officially over, and Europe's got a heavyweight contender now. 2 years ago, Arthur Mensch, Timothée Lacroix, and Guillaume Lampel, 3 brilliant researchers who'd worked at Meta and Google, decided to do something wild. They left their cushy Valley jobs and moved back to France to build their own AI company. That was in 2023. Most people thought they were crazy. France doesn't have the venture ecosystem of Silicon Valley. It doesn't have the cloud infrastructure. It doesn't have the brand recognition. But what France had was something you can't buy. 3 of the sharpest researchers in the world who understood exactly what was broken about the centralized, closed-source approach to AI. They started with one idea. What if you could build state-of-the-art language models without billions in compute? What if you could do it efficiently, make them open source, and let the community build on them? Their first models, Mistral 7B and Mistral 8X7B, dropped like a lightning strike. The community went nuts. Developers realized they could run cutting-edge AI models on their own hardware without paying OpenAI thousands of dollars every month. Mistral wasn't just another AI company, it was a revolution in access, and investors started paying attention. So what's Mistral actually doing with 3 billion euros? That's a mountain of money, and the answer tells you everything about where they are headed. First, they are building inference infrastructure, the systems that actually run AI models at scale. Right now, if you want to use Mistral's models, you either run them yourself on your own hardware or you use their paid API. With this funding, they're betting big that they can become the default choice for companies that want enterprise-grade AI without the OpenAI price tag. Second, they're hiring aggressively. 3 researchers can't build a world-class AI company alone. They need teams for research, safety, cloud infrastructure, sales, and customer support. Third, and this is the clever bit, they are probably planning to build proprietary models alongside their open-source ones. Mistral has been careful to stay true to the open-source community while building a business model around enterprise features and hosted services. Think of it like how Canonical makes money from Linux while keeping Linux free. The valuation itself, 20 billion euros, is wild but not irrational. Anthropic, the company behind Claude, is valued at around $15 to $20 billion. Mistral is in that exact same tier. Investors are saying, we believe Mistral has the team, the technology, and the vision to be one of the 3 or 4 dominant AI companies globally. Here's the thing that separates Mistral from 100 other startups trying to build AI companies. Their models actually work, and they work better than they should at their size. Mistral 7B, their smallest model, performs like models from OpenAI and Meta that are 3 times bigger. Mistral 8X7B uses a technique called mixture of experts. Imagine a team of 7 different specialists where only 2 answer each question at a time, depending on what the question needs. That's insanely efficient. You get expert-level reasoning without the computational overhead. Developers fell in love with it because they could run it on a single GPU instead of needing racks of hardware. Then came Mistral Large, their flagship model that competes head-to-head with GPT-4 and Claude 3 Opus. It's not universally better at everything, but in certain domains, coding, reasoning, multi-language tasks, it's genuinely competitive with models that cost billions of dollars to train. And here's the kicker, Mistral is distributing all of this as open source. You can download the weights, run them yourself, fine-tune them for your own use case, and build proprietary products on top of them. OpenAI doesn't let you do that. Google doesn't let you do that. Only Mistral does. That's not charity, it's strategy. Every developer who uses Mistral is an evangelist who might eventually pay for their enterprise API or hosted services. How does Mistral actually stack up against the AI giants you've heard of? Let's be honest about the scorecard. OpenAI has ChatGPT, the product that started this whole AI boom. They have over 200 million users, a direct relationship with billions of people, and the mindshare advantage. Claude from Anthropic is arguably the most thoughtful, safest AI assistant you can use right now. It's the one that experts pick for high-stakes work. Google has Gemini, which is integrated into every Android phone and Gmail and search. That's massive distribution. But Mistral's angle is completely different. They're not trying to beat ChatGPT at being a consumer chatbot. They're beating OpenAI, Google, and Meta at something much more valuable, being the default choice for developers. If you're building an AI product, an enterprise application, or a custom chatbot for your company, Mistral gives you open-source models that you can use for free, deploy anywhere, and customize without restrictions. OpenAI locks you into their API and their pricing. Mistral lets you own it. In the enterprise world, that's a huge advantage. Companies would rather buy from someone who lets them control their own destiny than rent from someone who can change prices overnight. The comparison that matters most. Mistral is now valued at the same level as Anthropic. That's huge validation. It says, the market believes Mistral has a shot at being one of the 2 or 3 winners in the AI space globally. This funding round isn't just about Mistral becoming a bigger company. It's a seismic change in how the AI industry is going to develop. For years, the narrative was, America owns AI. All the talent, all the compute, all the money, it's in Silicon Valley. Mistral just broke that narrative wide open. Europe has proven it can build world-class AI. That's going to attract talent, investment, and government support to places like Paris, London, and Berlin. It's going to make European governments take AI sovereignty seriously. There's already talk in Brussels about supporting European AI champions. Now there's proof that it can work. Second, this validates the open-source AI model. For a long time, people thought the future of AI would be centralized, closed, and owned by big companies. Mistral is proving that open-source AI can be competitive, can attract billions in investment, and can build a sustainable business. That's going to change how every other AI company thinks about licensing and access. Third, and this is crucial, it means the era of AI monopoly is ending. If you're building a company today and you need AI, you're not forced to use OpenAI anymore. You've got Mistral, you've got Claude, you've got open-source options, and you've got Google and Meta jumping in. Competition means innovation speeds up, prices go down, and customers win. And here's what most people overlook entirely. European regulation is about to become a competitive advantage. If you're watching this and thinking, okay, should I care about Mistral? The answer depends on who you are. If you're a developer, this is your cue to check out Mistral's open-source models. Download Mistral 7B or 8x7B from Hugging Face, run it locally, see what you can build. You'll be shocked at how capable they are and how little compute they need. If you're building an AI product or startup, Mistral is now a serious option for your backend. You can use their open-source models for free or pay for their hosted API, and you're not locked into OpenAI's pricing. If you're an investor, Mistral's momentum is worth watching. The next funding round could value them at 30, 40, 50 billion euros. Early investors who got in at previous rounds are sitting on life-changing returns. If you're just following the AI landscape, understand what Mistral represents, proof that innovation in AI isn't concentrated in California anymore. The next breakthrough could come from a 3-person team in Paris building something more efficient, more clever, and more open than what Silicon Valley is shipping. The broader lesson is that the AI race isn't just about compute and money, it's about taste, focus, and understanding what the market actually needs. Mistral understood that developers wanted efficiency and control. They built for that. And now they are a 20 billion euro company. That's the playbook. Here's what this Mistral funding round means for you and the AI landscape heading forward. The AI space just got more interesting. You've got real competition now, not just between companies, but between different philosophies. Closed and centralized like OpenAI. Thoughtful and careful like Anthropic. Open and decentralized like Mistral. That diversity is actually healthy for innovation. What to watch for? Mistral's next product launches with 3 billion euros. They're not going to sit still. They might release a model that genuinely beats GPT-4 at specific tasks. They might launch enterprise products that steal market share from OpenAI's business customers. They might expand to other regions and languages. The geopolitical angle is real too. Europe wants to reduce its dependence on American tech. Mistral is the tool to make that happen. Expect government contracts, European corporate adoption, and real regulatory support. For developers and builders, the message is clear. You're not stuck with one ecosystem anymore. You've got options. You can choose based on what you actually need instead of just habit or defaults. That's a win. If you've been following AI news and feeling like it's all just ChatGPT versus Claude, this is the moment to expand your perspective. Mistral is building something genuinely different, and they just proved the market believes in it. Follow for daily AI news, and you'll stay ahead of the next plot twist.